Well, welcome to another training session for leaders of sermon-based small groups. And all of our other sessions, as you know, we've talked about things like how to lead a meeting, how to help your group grow spiritually, numerically. We've also talked about how to build relationships in your group. Now this time I want to talk to you about something that, I'll be honest with you, we often overlook. I want to talk to you about how to end a group or move it through the transition period from one semester to the other. Now, some of you are thinking already, well, so what's the big deal about ending a group? How hard can that be? You just stop meeting. That's the end. Well, you can do it that way if you want, but if you do that, you're going to run the risk of undoing everything you've worked for the entire semester. Even if a particular group doesn't continue to meet in its current form, or if a person decides they want to stop coming to a particular group, the mission of becoming a fully devoted follower of Jesus, that never ends. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we do our best as leaders to set our group members up to continue growing in full devotion long after they leave our groups. So I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process of how this transition can happen. Now, sometime before the end of each group semester, as the leader of the group, you need to begin to pray. You need to talk to your team leader about whether or not you'd like to continue to lead your group through the next semester coming up. Remember back when you started leading, we asked you to make a one-semester commitment. So we want you, along with your team leader, to evaluate how did things go. And then together, the two of you can just sort of come to a decision as to whether or not you're going to continue to lead your group and then make another semester commitment. Now, there are several reasons why you would consider stepping out of leading a group. For instance, maybe the upcoming semester is going to be a particularly busy season for you, and it would be hard for you to keep the commitments you need to make to lead. Maybe you discovered that group leading just wasn't for you, and you want to move into another area of serving in the church. Maybe your group has been together for a really long time, and you see that things are kind of getting stale, and you need to sort of push some people out of the nest, so to speak, for their own good. Or maybe you just want to take a semester off. It's okay. But now others of you feel like you're just getting started, and some of you think your group's going great and it's doing awesome. Or you've got some new challenges and you want to take your group to another level. In those instances, well, then you might want to choose to stay in leadership with your group. Honestly, whatever decision you make up to the end of the semester, you still need to lead the group through the period of transition from one semester to the next. So either way, you're going to be sharing this decision with your group of what you're going to do. Now remember, you'll work very closely with your team leader through this whole process, so make sure that you're in constant contact with them throughout the whole deal. It's important for you, and it's important for the church. As our small group staff we've got to prepare for the next semester, so we need to go walk through that with you. Okay. So let's take these one at a time. Start this way. Let's say you've decided that your time as the group leader is over. That's the decision you've made. Well, about 2 or 3 weeks before that semester ends, you need to let the group know about what you've decided. Be honest, be transparent with them about your reasons for wanting to step out of leadership. And at this point, you need to go ahead and set a date and say, this is the date when our group will officially end for the semester. Now, your team leader can help you with the specific timeline, so be talking to them about that. And I would suggest that you make your last meeting sort of a special occasion. Spend some time during that meeting sharing successes that you've had as a group. Talk about how you've grown in your relationships with each other and in your relationship with Christ. Celebrate what God has done this semester. And this is also the time when you need to make sure and encourage group members to go ahead and begin seeking out another small group when the new semester launches. Now, that's very important because, again, just because your group is ending doesn't mean they should stop going to group. Now, let's take this. What if you decide you do want to continue leading on into the next semester? What do? Well, in that case, you have several different options that you need to consider. But it's still important that you talk to your group about 2 to 3 weeks out about the fact that, hey, guys, the semester is ending. Because remember, just like you made a one-semester commitment to lead the group, they also made a one-semester commitment to be in the group. So you also need to let the group know that, hey, the semester is coming to a close. Let them know that you plan to continue the group, but if there's anybody in the group there that wants to step out or move on or try another group next semester, they need to know that's totally fine. The reason we do this is it just gives people an easy out. And I know it's hard to imagine somebody not wanting to be in your group since you're such an amazing leader. I know. But it does happen every now and then. Now, seriously, we don't want to make people feel trapped. We don't want them to feel pressured to stay in groups where they just don't want to be. Okay, now once you've decided to continue, then you can just go right on meeting into the next semester if that's what you want to do. Because even though some groups decide to take breaks, we're going to continue providing you with DVD curriculum every single week. Now, some of you might want to take 1 or 2 weeks off because, some semesters end around the holidays, or you may want to have a natural dividing line before you gear up for the next semester. But again, that's totally up to you and your group, whatever decision you want to make. But a couple other suggestions I want to make for you to consider during the transition period. It's really a good idea to look back with your group as well, even if you're going to continue meeting. You need to celebrate what God did in the group, and then you need to set some goals for what would you like to see happen in that next run. Now, there's always going to be room to improve, so you can use this as an easy way to just maybe implement some changes to the group. This is also a great time to talk about inviting new people to join your group. Remember, every time we start a new semester, we'll begin to run commercials during our Sunday services. We'll start making it public. We'll remind folks to start signing up to be in a group whenever the relaunch takes place. So this is the perfect time for your group to extend invitations, because it really will be like a fresh start in every single group, and that just makes it even easier for new people to come join in. Well, guys, those are just some basic kind of things that will help you in this important transition period. And as always, and I know we say this all the time, but remember, your team leader is there to coach you through this, so you just need to make sure that you're asking the questions you need to ask and using your team leader, him or her, as a resource. So thanks again, guys, for leading your groups and helping our church reach its mission.